Welcome back, my dear students. In the last class, we have seen the basic introduction about the subnetting and then subnet mask, right? And in this class, we are going to see how to calculate subnet mask and then subnet address. And after that, we have to, we are going to see about supernet also. So supernet is one of the concepts. Okay, let me move on to the class. Then we will discuss about these things. Right. So you see here, finding the subnet address. So actually to find the subnet address, we are having the two different methods. One is just a straight method and then shortcut method. Okay. Actually we are having all the things, right? What are the problems we have? For all the problems we are having the straight way and then shortcut way. The same way here also we are doing these things. So first we will look into the straight method. So look into the definition. The straight method, we use binary notation for both the address and the mask, and then apply the AND operations to find the subnet address. So already we have discussed about this kind of things in the previous class itself. If you want to find out the subnet mask value, then we have to take the IP address in the binary format and then mask address in the binary format. After that we have to apply the AND operations. Okay, so wherever once we are getting, that one will give the result as a 1. Okay, and the other combinations, whether it is a zeros or ones and then ones and zeros, will be give 0 only. Okay, right. So you see the example here. What is the subnet mask address if the destination address is to 200.45.34.56 and then subnet mask is 255.255.240.0? So what we have to do, first we need to convert these IP addresses and then subnet mask into binary values. So you see in the below they are given that binary values of these two IP addresses, and finally they are doing that AND operations with these two IP addresses. Okay, that means that IP addresses and then subnet mask. Okay, so when we are applying that AND operations, in all the combinations of zeros and the ones and zeros are getting 0, and the combinations of 1 and 1 will give the result as 1. Okay, so if we are doing that, then we will get some output answers this way. And what are the output we are getting? That binary value must be converted into that decimal value to identify the mask value. Okay, so here you see the subnet network address is 200.45.32. So here the 34 is just IP addresses, but 32 is the subnet address. Okay, so in this subnet group we have to use this subnet address only, then only that particular network can access that to share the information to the server or receive the information to the server, right? And then next one is the shortcut method. So you see here, we are having the three different rules for the shortcut method. First one is, if the byte in the mask is 255, copy the byte in the address. So that means if you are having the 255 in the mask, then there is no need of do any changes. Simply we can keep that value as it is. And if the byte in the mask is 0, replace the byte in the address with 0. And you see, this is a second rule. And just like our 255 value, if we are having the zeros, then also we have to replace all the values as a 0. So here also we are not going to do any changes. And in the third rule, if the byte in the mask is neither 255 nor 0, we write the mask and then address in the binary and apply the AND operation. Okay, so this is what are the operations we have done in that straight mode. The same way we have to do. If the number is not 255 or the 0, then what are the number we are having? Just convert that number into the binary format, and the corresponding IP addresses, whatever we have, that also we need to convert into that binary. Then we need to apply the AND operations with this mask value and then IP address value. So if you are applying this AND operation, then it will give some output. That output will be that subnet address. Okay, so this is the shortcut method. Either we need to convert all the numbers into the binary, then we have to apply the AND operations. Otherwise, in the shortcut method, we have to see only two things, whether it is a 255 or a 0. If it is 255 as a 0, then we have to keep the numbers as it is. Otherwise, we have to convert that number into the binary, then we have to apply that AND operations with IP addresses. That's it. And some of the examples are here. So you see the example number 1. Here a company is granted the site addresses 201. 70.64.0, that means they are giving the class C address, and the company needs 6 subnets, design the subnets. So now the company is looking for 6 subnets. So what we have to do now, we need to look for the 2 power combinations, okay, the power of 2. If the power of n 2 power n will give that that subnet value, then we have to use that number as for calculating the subnet mask. Okay, in the solution you see the number of ones in the default mask is 24, because the class is C, because we know that well the class C IP addresses network ID is 255.255.255, right? So the first 3 octet bits values are occupying that network ID. So first 3 octet means it is a 24-bit values. So rest we have to borrow it from that host ID only. That's what they are doing. So how many bits we need to borrow from the host ID, that we need to calculate. So you see the company needs 6 subnets. This number is 6, and this 6 is not a power of 2. So I told you, right? So if any number which gives the subnet value in the power of 2, then we can keep that number for calculating that subnet mask. Okay, so now 2 power 1 is giving 2, and the 2 power 2 is giving 4, and the 2 power 3 is giving 8. So it is not 6. Okay, so the 2 power n is not giving the 6, so very close number is 8 only, because we cannot go with the 2 power 2 because it is 4, but the component needs 6, so 2 more we can go, no problem. So the next number that is a power of 2 is 2 power 3, so the 3 more bit we need, I mean we need to borrow from our host bit. Okay, so already we are having 24, now it is 3, so 24 plus 3 is the 27. So this total 27 bit is used for accessing like a subnet mask for this companies. Okay, and the rest number, so if totally we are having the 27 bits, so in the IP address we are having 32 bits. Okay, so from that 32 bit, if you are reducing the 27, then we will get 5, right? So that 0 to 5 is that address combinations. Okay, so only this much address we can produce with that this subnet mask value. Okay, right? So in the next one you see the number of subnet is 8, then number of addresses in each subnet is 2 power 5. 5 is the number of 0, that means in a rest terms, after the subnet mask value, whatever the terms we are having, that is what we are telling this at the address ranges. Okay, so it is 32 they are telling, 2 power 5 it is 32. So for each and every subnet we can create the 32 address ranges. Okay, and you see the subnet addresses, it is 255.255.255.224, because we are having that 3-bit borrow from the last octet byte, so it's giving the values of 224. And then example number 2, a company is granted the site addresses 181.56.0.0, that means a class B address they are giving, and the company needs 1000 subnets. Now you see in the previous exercise we are looking for the 6 subnets, but here it is the 1000 subnets, so we need to find out the 2 power n value. Okay, so that n, if the n gives the 1000, then we can use, otherwise we need to find out the close by values. Okay, so no value can give that that 2 power n is not giving the 1000 exactly. So here they are telling the 1024 it will give. Okay, so 2 power 10 will give the values of 1024. So 2 power n, that n value is the 10 here, so we need to borrow that n value from the host value. Okay, so here the 10. Okay, already it is a class B. So for class B we know that default subnet sorry network ID is 255.255, that means 8 bit plus 8 bit, so it is 16 bit. Okay, now we are adding this n bit value also, so 16 plus 10, it is 26 bit. Okay, so the subnet mask value is 26 bits, and that rest value, that means the address range value is the remaining terms, that means 32 minus 26, it is the 6. So that 6 values are giving that address ranges here. Okay, so you see this mask here, after the calculation the mask value is 192, that means 255.255.255, because total is 26. Okay, so up to 24 we are filling with all the ones, so it is 255, 255, 255. The last octet bit we are getting that 2. Okay, 2 more bits, so that 2 more bits means 128 plus 64, it is giving the 192. So that what they are giving, that 192 here. And then number of subnet here we can create is 1024, because the company needs 1000, so we cannot go less than that 1000. Okay, so obviously we have to go for 1024 only. That what they are telling. The subnet value is 1024 and then subnet mask is 192. And then total number of addresses how much we can create means 2 power 6. So 2 power 6 means it is giving that values of 64. So per network per subnet we can create the 64 different addresses. Okay. So you see in this diagram it is starting from something 181.56.0 dot 0 and then it is ending with that 63. That means the 64 addresses we can create. And the basics of what is supernetting. Okay, so first we need to understand what is the supernetting. So subnetting is just dividing that whole network into subgroups. So the supernetting is performs that opposite operations of the subnetting. That means it is combining that subgroup into the larger network. Okay, so it is creating the larger network obviously. Okay, you see the definition here. Supernetting is the opposite of the subnetting. In subnetting, you borrow bits from the host path. Okay, so what we are going to do here, if it is a opposite reaction means directly we are going to borrow some bits from the network ID, not from the host ID, because subnet is doing that borrowing operation from the host ID. Okay, so uh, in the supernetting is done by borrowing bits from the network side. That's what I'm doing. Because if you're borrowing from the network side, then it means that we are extending that subgroup value. So we are just combining all the subgroups and then making into the common network ID. That's why we are telling supernetting is is just making the larger network by the way of combining this subnet groups. Okay, so they are giving some rules. You just read the rules in over the reports. Okay, so you see here the number of block must be a power of 2 and the block must be contiguous in the address space, and the third byte of the first address in the super block must be evenly divisible by the number of blocks. Okay, so these are the rules they are giving for the supernetting. Let me see is the difference between the subnet and then supernet. So you see here, there is a difference between the subnetting and the supernetting. So as we know that well, what is the subnetting? Subnetting is a procedure to divide the network into subnetwork. Okay, but just now we have seen what is the supernetting, right? So it is just combining the subnetworks into the larger network. Okay, so in the definition they are giving, while supernetting is a procedure of combining the small networks. And in the second point, in subnetting, network addresses bits are increased. So here you see, because we are borrowing that network bit from the host ID, so obviously it is getting increased. Okay, but here what we are going to do, we are borrowing that bit value from the network ID, so automatically the host ID will be getting increased. That's what they are telling. While in supernetting, host address bits are getting increased because we are borrowing the network value only. The third point, in subnetting, the masked bits are moved towards right. Yeah, the direction they are telling. So if the subnet is moving towards the right, then obviously that supernetting is moving towards the left. Okay. And the fourth point, the subnetting is implemented via variable length subnet mask. Okay, so they are telling the VLSM concept is used in the subnet. So you see here, we are not going to use the VLSM concept, so we can go with the FLSM, or else they are using the terms called classless interdomain routing here. Okay, and in the fifth point, this is the last point, and then in subnetting, address depletion is reduced or moved. So they are telling that address depletion is reduced here. So what will happen here? It is a direct opposite reaction. So in the supernetting, it will be increased. That's it. Right. There is some example I have given to understand this subnet concepts. Okay. So you see, a block in classes A, B, C can easily be represented in the slash notation as A dot B dot C dot D slash N, where N is either class A, that means the 8, class B 16, class C 24. That means that network ID they are mentioning here. So what we are going to do here, the example, what is the network address if one of the address is 167.199.170.82. So they are asking for the what is the network address. Okay, so they are giving one intermediate address and then they are asking for what is the network address. So the slash notation they are giving the 27. Okay, so the prefix length is 27. That means from the 32 bit first 27 bit we are accessing. Okay, that means the 24 bits are used for identifying the network. Okay, so we are extending some other bits from this 24 to 27. That means 255.255.255, it is the 24 bit value, so it is the class C type of IP addresses. Okay, so 3 we are extending, that's what they are telling. And the change the remaining bits is 5 to 0, so right, okay, no problem. And the 5 bits affect only the last byte, so what they are giving, the last address is 82, right? So in this 82, what we are going to do, this is the address in the intermediate address, so that last 5 bit only going to be affected, so we are going to change that last 5 bits. Okay, that means that the last octet value, the last 5 bit value, we have to change it to 0. So whatever we are getting, that is that network address here. So if you're changing that into 0, then first we need to convert that 82 into um, 82-bit value into the binary, so it is giving that 0 1 0 1 0 0 1 0. Okay, so if you are converting all the first last 5 bit into zeros, then we will get 0 1, and then all the terms are 0. So if you are converting this value into that decimal, then we will get 64. So simply they are telling that the network address is 167.199.170.64, right? So this is the way how to calculate the network addresses. Okay, and the second example, an organization is granted the black 132, 34, 12, and 64 and slash notation of 26. Okay, the organization needs to have 4 subnets. Now you see they are giving the conditions. The organization must want 4 subnets. And what are the subnet addresses and the range of addresses for each subnet? So first we need to find out that subnet, and then we have to find out how many addresses we can create for each and every subnet. Okay, so that's what they are telling. So first we need to find out, it is a 26 they are given, so totally we are having the 32-bit addresses, right? Now we need to find out that suffix length. Okay, so how many addresses we can create with that the rest host bit IDs. Okay, so the 26 is occupied with the network ID. So if you are if you are subtracting the 26 with the 32, then we will get the 6 as remaining. Okay, so that 6 bit only we are going to make it address ranges here. So if you are giving that the total number of address is 2 power 6. If you are giving that, then it will give the 64. Okay, that's what they are giving here. So the total address we can create is 64. And because what is the thing, if the total address range is 64, and we know that the condition is the company need only 4 subnets. Okay, so if you're dividing that 4 subnet with that 64, then each subnet can get only 16. That's what they are telling. If we create a 4 subnets, then each subnet will have the 16 addresses. That's what they are mentioning here. And let us find the first and subnet prefix. So they are asking for this subnet mask. Okay, and you see here they are telling that um, 130 130.34.12.64. so this is the initial value here, and from this we have to add 64-bit address range. Okay, so if you are adding that 64 address, then it will end up with 130.34.12.79. Okay, that what they are mentioning here. So this is the address range. We need to add extra 16 bit with 16 addresses with each and every IP addresses of each and every subnet. So that subnet contains that initial address and then ending address, right? So if the 64 is the initial address, then that ending address of the subnet 1 group is 79, and then subnet 2 will starting from that 80. That means 130.34.12.80. So it will be ending with we need to add that 16 addresses here. So obviously it will come with 96. Okay, 130.34.12.96. Okay, sorry, 95, because it is starting from the 80. So 80 to 95, it is giving the 16 bit 16 address ranges. And the subnet 3, it was starting from 96 and ending with 111. and subnet 4 it is starting with 1122 and this 16 unit add, so it will come with 117. So these are the address ranges for each and every subnet here. And this is another example, they are giving the three different categories of this question. Okay, an ISP is granted a block of address starting with 190.100.0.0 and then slash notation of 16. The ISP needs to distribute these addresses into three groups of customers as well. So they are giving one starting address, and then from that address they are giving one slash notation, and from that notation they are asking us to give the IP addresses for some three categories of customers. So we need to satisfy the customers requirements. So the first thing is the first group has 64 customers, each needs 256 address. Okay, so now they mentioned that 64 subnets we need, because they are telling the 64 customers. Okay, each customer needs 256 addresses. That means each subnet is looking for 256 addresses. Okay, so that's what the meaning of the first question. In the second question they mentioned the second group has 128 customers and then 128 addresses. That means they are telling that in the second conditions they need 128 subnet groups, and then each subnet contains the 128 machines as a client. That means 128 address we need to create. Okay, uh, that same way we had in the third condition also they are mentioning 128 customers and then 64 addresses. Okay, and in the question design the sub blocks and give the slash notation for each sub block and find out how many addresses are still available after these allocations. Okay, so they are asking for this. Okay, how many will be available after allocating this kind of addresses. Okay, right. So the group one, you see each customer needs 256 addresses. This is the conditions we need. So we know that well, if 2 power n, that n satisfied that conditions, then we can say this is the subnet mask value we can create, right? So that means the suffix length is 8 they are giving. So 2 power 8 giving the values of 256. So they are telling that the prefix length is then 32 minus 8. Okay, so here we need to find out the subnet mask value. Okay, we know that. Okay, what is the address range? So the address range is coming from the 2 power 8. Okay, so 8 is the address range. So the last from the 4 different octet bits, the last one octet bits is used for creating that IP addresses. So the rest IP addresses are used in the subnet mask value. So the total 24 bits will be used here. So the slash notations will be here is 24. Okay, that's what they are telling. So you see here the customer one is 190.100.0.0. So it is the initial address, and then we need the 256 address, right? So it is ending with 255, and we know that the slash notation is 24 because we know the prefix length of our subnet mask value. From the subnet mask value we have to give this. So we are having the 64 different subnet, and then each subnet accessing the 256 address. They are asking how many addresses still available. Okay, so how many addresses we can use. So 256 in 64 into 256 is give the values of 16 comma 384, 60,384 addresses we can create with the slash 24 notations. For the second conditions, group 2, it is 128 addresses, 128 customers. So we need to find out the 2 power n value. So here 2 power 7 is giving the value of 128. So that 7 should be applied for finding that network ID. Okay. So we know that 32 minus 7. Okay. So it gives the values of 25. So that 25 bit values are occupying the network ID. So 255.255.255. After that, it is giving that one bit borrowed from that fourth octet, right? So the last one bit gives the values of 128. Okay, that's what they are mentioning here. Okay, and you see this last notations. We actually they are after subtracting that address places from that network ID, we will get the 25. So that last notation is 25 only. So here we are having that 128 addresses or customers or the subject or whatever we can say. Okay, so the first customer uses the IP addresses 190.100.64.02 127, because we know that 2 power 7 gives the values of 128. Okay, so that 128 only we need to give. So it is starting from 0, so it will be in bit 127. So 0 to 127 gives the values of 128. Okay, and we know that slash 27 for this is 25 only. So like this we need to perform for all that 128 different subnet groups. So you see here 128 into 128, it gives that output of 16,384. Okay, this is the address we can create for all these subgroups. Okay, so number of granted addresses is 65. So this one is finally we have to give. After that we have to go for group 3. Okay, so the group 3, you see the conditions, they are giving 64 addresses, right? So what is that first we need to find out the 64 address means what is that 2 power n value we give the 64. So 2 power 6 in this case they are giving the value of 64. So we need to subtract that 6 from the 20 at 32, so it gives a 26. So we know that 26 is the slash 27 for this group. Okay, and the address is 64, that we know well. So you see here that initial address is 190.100.128.0 and then slash notation is 26. Okay, and since it is the 64, we have to ending address with 63 for the first customer, and then for second customer it will starting with 64 and ending with 127. Like that it will keep on grow, and finally for 128 customers, that means 128 customers, we are having that initial address as 190.100.159.192 slash 26, and it will be ending with 190.100.159.255. Okay, so this is the slash notations, and then the total IP addresses how much we are having is 128 into 64, so total we are having 8192. So now we need to find out how many addresses we are having for these things. Okay, so the number of granted addresses 65,536, and the number of allocated addresses 4960. Okay, so totally you see uh, group 1, group 2, group 3 altogether it's giving the total number of IP addresses 40,000 and then 960, and then this is the class B kind of IP addresses. So we are having that because we are borrowing that terms from that last bit, right? So it will give 65,536 is the total granted address, and then we are having only 40,000 and then 960 address. So if you are subtracting that 40,960 from the 65,536, then we will get 24,000 addresses. Okay, so this is the answer they are expecting. So after assigning allocating all the addresses to these groups, how many addresses will be available? So this is the question they asked. So 24,000 is the right answer for this. Okay. That's all about today's topic. And if you have any questions or any doubt, please feel free to contact me on the given email ID, and then my number also given here. So anytime you can call me. Thank you.